You won't believe this, Apple is about to make the exact same mistake Samsung made back in 2019, and the guy leaking this information? He's literally being sued by Apple right now. Yeah, grab some popcorn because this is getting messy. Alright, so here's what's going down. Jon Prosser, yeah, the tech leaker who Apple sued back in July 2025 for stealing iOS 20 trade secrets, just dropped another bombshell leak about the iPhone 18 Pro, and honestly, the audacity of this guy is kind of impressive. He's showing us renders where the front camera has been moved to the top left corner, not the center where it's been since the iPhone X launched, the top left corner, like way off to the side. Now before you ask, is this even legit? Look, Apple is actively in court with this guy. They wouldn't waste time and legal money on someone who's just making stuff up in Photoshop. The iOS 20 leak he did earlier turned out to be completely accurate. So yeah, his sources are real, even if his methods are, let's say, legally questionable. But here's what almost nobody in the tech community is talking about. This isn't innovative, this is desperate. Let me take you back to 2019. Remember the Galaxy S10? Samsung came out with this corner punch hole camera design. They made a huge deal about it. No interruptions to your view, seamless display experience, all that marketing nonsense. You know what Samsung did 6 months later with the Note 10? Moved it back to the center, Galaxy S20. Center again, Samsung Galaxy S21, Samsung Galaxy S22, Samsung Galaxy S23, Samsung Galaxy S24, Samsung Galaxy S25, all center. They never went back to the corner, ever. Why? Because real users absolutely hated it. I'm not making this up, go look at the forums from that time. People were complaining about video calls looking weird because you're not actually looking at the person. You're staring at the corner of your screen like you're avoiding eye contact, the notification bar becoming a mess. Because all the icons got pushed to one side, one-handed use getting harder because that top corner. It's literally the most difficult spot to reach with your thumb without doing phone gymnastics. Samsung even did internal testing on this. They found that centered cameras just feel more natural because when you take a selfie or hop on FaceTime, your brain instinctively looks at the center of the phone, not some random corner. So Apple is about to repeat Samsung's exact mistake from 5 years ago. That's wild. Okay, so if Samsung already proved corner cameras are a terrible idea, why would Apple, the company that obsesses over every detail, why would they do this? 2 words, under display Face ID. Rumor has it they want to hide all those Face ID sensors underneath the screen. That way, the only thing you'd see is a tiny camera hole. Sounds amazing, right? Problem? The technology just isn't ready yet. Under-display cameras right now are straight up garbage. Samsung tried it on their Z Fold phones, and even die-hard Samsung fans admit the selfie quality is terrible. We're talking muddy, blurry, low-light disaster zone. It's like taking selfies through a screen door, so Apple's stuck. They have 2 options, wait until under-display. Camera tech is actually good, probably 2027 or 2028. Or do this weird corner camera thing as a band-aid solution right now. They're picking option 2, and I think that's a mistake. Look, this isn't just some abstract tech nerd stuff. This will affect how you actually use your phone. If you're someone who takes a lot of video calls, Zoom meetings, FaceTime with family, Teams for work, corner camera placement is gonna feel off. Good luck making eye contact. You'll be looking at empty space while the camera captures you from a weird angle. If you use your phone with one hand, and UX research shows 75% of people do, reaching that top left corner is in what designers call the red zone, the hardest area to tap without readjusting your entire grip. Your thumb just doesn't naturally go there. And if you're even slightly awked about symmetry, this is gonna drive you insane. The dynamic island moving to the corner means your notification bar will be permanently lopsided. The clock that's been chilling in the top left since 2007. Gone, moved. Your brain is gonna hate it for at least 2 months. Here's what I really think is happening. This isn't about making the iPhone 18 Pro better. This is about Apple's foldable iPhone. Think about it for a second. Every single leak about the iPhone Fold shows a corner camera on the outside screen. Prosser's own renders from December show this exact design. Apple needs to train both users and developers to design apps around corner cameras before the Foldable even launches. The iPhone 18 Pro is basically a public beta test disguised as a flagship phone. And you know what? That's kind of genius but also kind of shady, because Apple is asking Pro users, people dropping $1,200 to $1,400 on a phone, to be guinea pigs for a design that's really optimized for a completely different product that won't even launch until late 2026. Compare this to what Samsung did when Samsung wanted to test under-display cameras. They put them on their $1,800 foldables first. Those are luxury devices where early adopters literally expect experimental features and quirks. Apple, they're testing it on their mainstream flagship that millions of people buy. That's bold, maybe too bold. Real talk, should this leak even matter to you? If you're planning to upgrade to the iPhone 18 Pro in September 2026, then yeah, absolutely pay attention. But let's break down what you need to know. The camera quality itself will probably be amazing because Apple's camera hardware is always top tier. They don't mess around with that. But the user experience might actually suck because corner placement creates real ergonomic problems that Samsung already documented. This is probably temporary because by the time iPhone 19 rolls around in 2027, under-display tech will be better and this weird corner experiment will be over, my honest advice. If you're on an iPhone 15 or 16 Pro right now, skip the 18 Pro entirely and wait for the 19. Let other people beta test this awkward transition phase. If you're still using an iPhone 13 or older and you desperately need an upgrade, you might be stuck dealing with this. Just know what you're signing up for. It's gonna be weird for a while. Look, what really frustrates me about this whole situation is the messaging inconsistency. Apple has spent the last 4 years telling us the dynamic island is this revolutionary UI breakthrough. They've trained millions of developers to design around it. They've convinced users it's the future of smartphone interfaces. And now, after just 4 years, they're completely changing where it lives on the screen. That's not innovation, that's panic pivoting. Samsung figured this out back in 2019. Centered is objectively better. Google knows it, Xiaomi knows it, every Android manufacturer with a brain knows it. But Apple is about to zigzag back to a design philosophy that was already proven inferior, all because they are trying to force under-display tech onto the market before it is actually ready for prime time. The Prosser lawsuit angle matters too. This guy is risking actual jail time and potentially millions in damages to keep leaking this stuff. Apple got a default judgment against him. They're seeking injunctions. They want him to shut up completely. And yet he's still going, still dropping leaks. That tells me two critical things. His sources are absolutely real. Apple wouldn't fight this hard if he was just guessing. The information is probably accurate. He nailed iOS 20, so why would this be wrong? But it also raises an important question. How much of this is actually finalized? Apple is famous for testing like 10 different prototypes internally before picking one. Just because they're exploring corner cameras doesn't guarantee it'll ship that way. Remember when Prosser leaked that flat Mac Mini design with the magnetic power connector? Apple shipped something completely different, so there's always a chance this changes, but I wouldn't bet on it, because if Apple does go through with this, you know what'll happen. The entire tech industry will copy it like they always do, and we'll all be stuck with corner cameras for the next 3 years. Until the tech catches up, here's where we land. Apple's iPhone 18 Pro might relocate the camera to the top left corner. It's a weird move. Samsung already tried it 5 years ago and gave up after 6 months because users hated it. The UX research proves it's objectively worse, but Apple might do it anyway as a stepping stone to better under-display technology in 2027 to 2028. Is this leak credible? Yes, Prosser has a proven track record, and Apple is literally in court trying to shut him up. Is this design 100% final? No, Apple could still pivot before September 2026. Should you care? Only if you're planning to buy the iPhone 18 Pro next year, my personal take. This is a bad solution being implemented for the right reasons. Apple wants true under-display Face ID. They just don't have the technology ready yet, so they are doing this awkward corner camera band-aid instead of just waiting 1 more year to do it properly, and honestly, I wish they show some patience and launch it when it is actually polished instead of rushing out a design that Samsung already proved doesn't work. But hey, that's just my opinion. What do you think? Would you actually buy an iPhone with a corner camera? Or would you skip it and wait for the iPhone 19 when they hopefully fix this? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I genuinely read them and I'm curious what you all think about this mess. And if you made it this far, thanks for sticking around through this whole rant. Hit that subscribe button if you want more tech analysis that goes deeper than those lazy hype headlines everyone else just regurgitates. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.